Hello everyone and welcome back to Revs and Reviews. Today I have a pretty special vehicle here in front of me, and it's in a pretty special color. Today I'm reviewing the 2025 Chevy TrailBlazer ACTIV. Now the ACTIV trim is the top of the line trim for the Chevy TrailBlazer, and it has a lot to unfold. Now to start, this does have a couple of different packages with the all-weather floor mat package and the driver confidence package. Now this does have a price tag of about $29,600. Which isn't bad, I do have to say. That is a pretty fair price for a vehicle like this. Now, across your front here, this one does have the black bow tie package. So with the ACTIV trim, you are going to get those LED front indicators with the LED projector headlamps and fog lights. The Chevy logo is not going to light up, but you do get the gloss black across the grille as well. And it does look fairly decent. And I will have to say the Cacti green is one of my favorite colors Chevy has came out with. And if you remember from previous videos, I did review the Chevy Trax ACTIV in that Cacti green, so why not review the Chevy TrailBlazer in the same color? Now, moving along to your rims here, you are going to get 17-inch alloyed wheels, and then you have your white painted roof up top, and then you will have your side rails up here, which are a gloss black, and then you will also have your white mirror caps, and they are heated mirrors. Now, I do have to say, I really do like the Chevy TrailBlazer. They went off sale in 2009 and came back in 2021, and it came back better than ever. And right now, the 2025 is right where it needs to be. It's a great looking SUV. With your ACTIV trim, you are going to get your LED rear tail lights, which are nice. Now, on top of that, you will get your LED reverse light, and along the back, you have your dual chrome tip exhaust, and then, of course, you have that black bow tie, an ACTIV badge, and then again LED taillights. Now I do have to say, it's not that impressive under the hood, but it is still a really nice little car for its price. Obviously, if you go with an LT trim, you will have more of a base model, but still get some more of the same features, and you can also add packages. Now you may be wondering, what is powering this 2025 Chevy TrailBlazer? Well, let's take a look under the hood and see what's powering this 2025 Chevy TrailBlazer ACTIV. Underneath the hood here, like I said, nothing really impressive, but it's also better than a CVT. So underneath the hood here, you're getting a 1.3 liter three-cylinder engine pushing 155 horsepower, 174 pound-feet of torque, all-wheel drive, 29 in the city, 33 on the highway, and it can tow up to 1,000 pounds. Now, yes, I know 1,000 pounds is not a lot, but considering it is a small SUV, it is a mid-size SUV and or crossover. It's a good-looking mid-size SUV. I mean, you really don't need to tow anything, and if you were to need to tow something, you should probably look at a bigger vehicle. Now, I do have to be honest, though, the Chevy TrailBlazer here, it has a lot of great features. Obviously, it doesn't have a CVT, which is great compared to Nissan, and honestly, I really do like this. Now, let's hop inside and see the refreshed interior. And let's see the refreshed interior and see what Chevy has to offer on the interior of this beautiful, fully loaded 2025 Chevy TrailBlazer ACTIV. Now, moving along to your interior here, you do have a pretty nice door panel here. So you do have this really interesting green lime green stitching with this like brown accenting representing that top of the line trim. Now, this door panel is really nice. You do not have power folding mirrors, but you have power adjustable mirrors. You don't have a big enough cup holder for a Stanley Cup, but you also do get a little bit of chrome accenting on your door handle release. Now, moving along to your interior here, I do have to say I really do like the 11-inch infotainment screen over here, and then your 8-inch driver display. Now, another thing I like is going to be these seats. I like the ACTIV badge that's stamped in. I like the black leather, and I also really do like the fact that they are heated, and they have that Evo Tech seat material, which gives you that Evo Tech green. And then, of course, they are 10-way power adjustable seats for the driver and passenger. Now, let's hop into that 8-inch infotainment screen for your driver and 11-inch screen for your passengers. Now, moving along to your interior here, I do have to say, I really do like the interior. So with your interior here, like I said, you are going to have the driver confidence package, which is going to give you rear cross traffic alert, rear park assist with AEB, lane change assist, as well as your standard lane keeping assist, front and rear AEB, blind spot monitors, and your pedestrian alerts, which I do think is also quite nice that those do come standard on the other models. Now, moving along into all the technology that this has. So it does have a lot of technology, and which is nice. So moving along to this area over here, this dashboard is similar to the Buick Envista. It's very similar to the Chevy Trax, and it is also very similar to the Buick Encore. GM is kind of sticking with this design, and I am kind of here, and I do really dig it. Now, the one thing that I really do love that new cars have is that auto high beam assist, because these lights are LED, and I do have to say they do get really bright at nighttime. Now, since this has the black bow tie package, you are going to have a black bow tie right here, and a little meet porn. I do like it. Now, you do have adaptive cruise control, so with your adaptive cruise control, you can adjust your gap in between, so you can have it like 3 lengths, 2 lengths, or 1 length. I like having it at the 1 length, just because it lets me know when I'm getting close to a car, and that way I'm not too close to the vehicle, including if the car is on adaptive cruise control. Now, another thing I do like is going to be the shift, not paddle shifters on the back, but you do have different steering controls back here. And basically, it'll change the radio station, which is nice, and then of course it will go over your volume over here. Now, with this screen right here, what I did not know is it's actually customizable. Now, what's really weird to me is this little button right here is very sensitive, so you can control your AM FM radio, and then you can control your phone from right there. Now, what you have to do, see these little 2 arrows? Yeah, well, you can't press them. You have to hold in the button and scroll up. It's even giving me a little bit of issues. So there is actually a bunch of different gauge options, and which I didn't know on the Chevy Trax. So you have gauge option 1, which is more of like your sleek design. And then you go over here, and we'll go up here, and we will go to gauge 2. More sporty, including if you want to put it in sport mode. There will be a little race sign down there, which I do think is nice. Now, on top of that gauge display, we're on gauge 2. We'll go to gauge 3. A little bit more clean, a little bit more futuristic. I do wish you could customize the colors. Now, if we scroll down here, we can go to our vehicle info, and basically it'll just show us our trip information. Now, we'll scroll back up, and see, it is a little bit hard to use. I think that's what I'm going to have to say I don't like about this screen, is going to be the fact that this is kind of hard to use. And then, of course, it will go to your little screen right here for your audio. And then you can go to your clean view, which will just clean things up, and I do like that view. So that's basically all the customizations you can do with this screen over here. But honestly, it is very nice. Obviously, you are going to get glare across all the screens. Like you can see me waving in the screen. The screens don't take up all the space, so there is a little bit of gloss black across the screen, but that is okay. Now, I do have to say there is different drive modes, which I am kind of excited about. So you do have snow mode. There will be a little snow icon that will pop up down there. You also have sport mode. And then you have your traction control on and off, and then you have your lane keeping assist on or off, and then you have your auto stop start on and off, which is nice. And I am controlling that through all these little controls right down here. Now, moving along to this screen over here, this screen, it's simple, but I like it. So it is controlled through Google, which is nice. And let me just get adjusted here. So you do have your radio connection right over here. There's a little radio icon. Then you have your phone connection right here. And then you have your vehicle info. So you have your trip, your gauges, your maintenance, and then you can go to your home button, and you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Wi-Fi hotspot, and your settings as well. Now, if we go back up here, we can press the radio button, and that's basically your home screen. If we go down here, there's a little home button, and basically it's just going to show you your different apps. Now, on top of that, we can press this button in, and it will turn off the radio, but it won't really show anything. So basically, it's just those few customizations for the screen. Now, obviously, it's not overly crazy on customizations, but basically, it's your radio, your phone connection, your vehicle info, and then you have your little home button down there. Now, I do have to say, it's a little bit boring, I do gotta be honest, but if I'm honest, $29,000 and it's an SUV with all-wheel drive, there's really not much to complain about. And even though this doesn't have an upgraded sound system, the speakers sound amazing in here. Obviously, I can't share it on here because of the fact that I will get copyrighted. Now, down here, I can press that button again, and we can go to settings here. And within the settings, it will go over our display, our sounds, our updates, and then our reset options. And then we can go to vehicle, teen driver, collision detection system. Now we can go over that and see the alert and brake, the rear cross traffic alert, basically everything that we need to know. And then we can go over comfort and convenience, lighting, remote lock and unlock and start, and then under lighting, exit lighting, and then vehicle locator lighting. And then basically, if you do have a teenage driver and don't want them to go over a certain speed limit, you can set that up as well. Now, I do like how that like yellow lime stitching goes across the leather dash over there, and I do like that bronze accent. I do think it is quite nice. Now, overall, I gotta say, I do like the interior here in this Chevy TrailBlazer. Obviously, it's very simple. There is no sunroof. Now, I do have to say, gonna be honest, I wish there was more customizations between the, like, this screen. This screen over here is fine. I like this screen, but this screen over here, we kind of need more customizations, Chevy, because having just a radio on, I would like to see some widgets, you know, similar to like Jeep and Ford and stuff. So I would have liked to seen something like that. Now, down here, we do have some other customizations down here, and or basically what the vehicle will be showing. So we don't have a dual climate, unfortunately. That is in a all-weather package, but you do get remote start. You have heated but no ventilated seats, and then you just have your standard control here. So this will just turn up like that. It doesn't really show you like what level fan you're on, but it's basically really simple down here. You do not get a wireless charging pad down here, or actually you might. Let's see. No, you do not get a wireless charging pad down there, and then there's your little gear selector for your different drive modes. And then when we pop it into reverse here, you will notice there is parking sensors, and my seat will vibrate if I do get close to something. And then when we put it in drive, of course, that camera will delay a little bit. And then when we go back to park, it'll go back here. Now, I do wish that the backup camera would take up the whole screen, but it doesn't, which is okay. Now, moving along to your center console here, it is kind of disappointing. It's just a little storage cubby. You can move this up over here, and it's a very small storage cubby. Honestly, nothing really interesting in that storage cubby, and then there's a little storage cubby right down here, which I like. Now, overall, I do have to say, I really do like the vehicle overall, and I really do like the interior. So let's hop into the rear seats and see if a 6-foot tall person can fit comfortably in the rear seats. Moving along to your back seats here, it is a pretty spacious back seat area, I will admit. Now, your rear door panel back here is nothing special, a little bit of silver plating on your handle, and then of course a little bit of black leather. Not much, mainly just a hard plastic. Now, with that all-weather floor mat package, you are getting really nice all-weather floor mats. Now, moving along, you do have 2 cup holders in here, which is nice, in between the 2 seats. You have just enough room for 2 car seats, and you have 2 pockets on both sides. And for your leg room here in this rear seat area, you are going to get about 39 inches of legroom, which isn't that bad at all, considering this is a very small SUV. Now, getting in and out of the driver door, it is very easy, and getting in and out of this back door will also be pretty easy. So let's hop back here, and let's see if a 6-foot tall person can fit comfortably back here. Back here in the back seats, getting in and out was very easy. There's no AC vents or charging ports down there, but you are getting pockets on this side and on this side over here, which is nice. Now, there is a decent amount of legroom back here, I do have to be honest. There's plenty of legroom. Obviously, if there was a little bit more legroom, I would have liked to seen a little bit more legroom, but honestly, I do have to say, it's a very, very, very comfortable back seat area, including since they are leather seats. Obviously, they're not heated back here, but I feel like Chevy could have made like a Premier trim or something, or maybe even like a high country trim for the TrailBlazer, and could have made like more features on the interior. Now, of course, I do have to say that I really do like the back seats here, and I gotta be honest, I really do like the back seats. So let's hop into the cargo area and see how much junk we can fit in the trunk. Moving along to the rear end of the Chevy TrailBlazer ACTIV here, the one thing I was really disappointed about was not being able to have a power liftgate with this trim in particular. Now, I'm sure you can customize it to have a power liftgate, but the only good thing about having this manual liftgate is the keyless entry on this liftgate. So now, moving into your cargo area here, you do get a decent amount of cargo room back here. So you do get a 60-40 split with the seats up, 25.3 cubic feet of space, and with the seats down, about 54.4 cubic feet of space, which isn't that bad at all, considering this is a smaller SUV that does also have a lot of features. Now, I would have liked to seen personally a power liftgate, but the liftgate's not that heavy, so you won't break your back. But I mean, if you are an older person that does need a power liftgate, then I would option it out with one. Obviously, this one does not have that, nor the sunroof, but honestly, for $29,000, if you're on that type of budget, do you really need a power liftgate? Because I gotta be honest, if I was driving this vehicle, I personally wouldn't need a power liftgate, considering the trunk liftgate doesn't go up really high and it's kind of small, and it is a small car. Let me know your opinions on that in the comments down below. Now let's go over my honest opinions. Now, for just under $30,000, I do have to be honest, this Chevy TrailBlazer is impressive. Not only that, but you are going to get remote start. So having remote start is a great feature. On top of that, you're getting Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, front AEB. You have that driver confidence package with your different drive modes. You also have lane keeping assist, front AEB, rear AEB, basically everything you need, which is also great to have. Now, it's also an SUV with all-wheel drive, and for $30,000, I mean, you could probably pick up a used one with a couple thousand miles for about $25,000, but I mean, still, it is a great-looking SUV. It has tons of great features. Let me know your opinions in the comments down below, and before I end the review, a huge thank you to Heiser Chevrolet of West Bend, Wisconsin, for letting me come out and review this beautiful 2025 Chevy TrailBlazer ACTIV. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know your opinions in the comments down below. Would you take a Chevy TrailBlazer or possibly a Toyota Corolla Cross, or maybe even like a Nissan Kicks? Let me know your opinions in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next review. Have a great day, everyone.